Seeing is believing. Dhamma Talks by Sayadaw Nyanabhasa. Talk 14. The Nature of the Unborn. The Saggatavagga, the book of verses in the Samyutta Nikaya, contains the Buddha's teachings. Some people take Nibbana, the unborn, to be a golden city, a paradise, or a place that exists somewhere. Even when the Buddha was still alive, people had doubts about it. A devata from the Tavatimsa heaven once came to the Buddha and asked the question, "Where does Nibbana exist?" This was the devata Rohitasa. The Buddha replied to him, "Do not ask me in that way. It cannot be said where Nibbana is." Instead, the Buddha asked him, "How do you search for it with the desire to arrive there?" According to Rohitasa, he had searched for Nibbana by traveling on foot, by vehicles, by making merits, and by using supernormal powers. See Devaputta Samyutta, Rohitasa Sutta. Wherever he went, he found only aging, sickness and death. Having khandha in any realm of existence, he encountered nothing but aging, sickness and death. The Buddha then answered him that he could not find Nibbana in these ways. Not finding Nibbana means that aging, sickness and death will never come to an end. Therefore, one must arrive at Nibbana. Rohitasa then asked the Buddha how he should look for it. The Buddha answered that he must search with knowledge Nana. Within this very body, measured at 2 armed lengths, he must search with knowledge. This is a very important point for one's own practice. When an object, a ramana, and a sense door, dvara, make contact, consciousness arises. For example, when a visible object and the eye meet, seeing consciousness arises. All these are newly arising khandhas. The 6 sense doors themselves are part of the presently existing khandhas. Yogis must contemplate these newly arising khandhas with insight. By watching and observing the impermanent khandhas, their rising and falling, they discern the truth of dukkha. After repeatedly seeing this, it becomes wearisome, and at last it comes to an end. Every beginning has its ending. Do not say, "Nothing is happening yet in my practice." If one knows how to contemplate, one will discern impermanence, anicca, and realize the truths of dukkha and the path, magga saccas. Yogis must apply effort and make it strong. By continuously discerning impermanence, unwholesome and wholesome mental states are unable to enter the practice. We should not be satisfied merely with merit-making, as many Buddhists are. Upon truly encountering the Buddha's teachings, we must practice to end dukkha, the great suffering. At that time, neither unwholesome nor wholesome minds can enter, only knowledge-based minds, nana, arise. As a result, the blood of the heart becomes clear and bright, and the body experiences lightness. Previously, the yogi discerned only the coarser forms of impermanence. Now he begins to discern the middle and refined forms. This is the discernment of many impermanences. On meditative light and personal experience in practice. If I speak of my own experience during practice, I once saw colorful, bright light and went to inform my teacher. He replied that this was not yet the appropriate stage. He explained that such experiences arise due to saddha, confidence. If one is able to contemplate continuously for 3 or 4 days, such light may appear. The light of wisdom, nana, is described as white, clear and cool, like moonlight. I continued my practice, and after 1 or 2 months, the light became truly bright. Whenever I closed my eyes, it appeared clearly, even without any intention to see it. This was clarity of nana, and its brightness continued until cessation. It can last for a long time, but reaching this stage requires considerable effort. Calming the mind is not an easy task. Chakhamudapadi, Nanamudapadi, Alokudapadi, vision arose, knowledge arose, light arose. That is, the knowledge I and the light element arise together. The Buddha mentioned this in the first discourse describing his own experience. There are two kinds of light, samadhi light and insight light. Samadhi light does not last long, whereas the light associated with absorption, jhana, lasts longer. According to the texts, the jhanic light of the hermits Davila and Alara spread upward into the sky for a distance of 12 miles. Defilements, kilesa, do not enter the mind, so that it becomes clear and luminous. The light arising from insight knowledge is simply a sign of the purity of that knowledge. There is nothing worthy of clinging to. Curiosity arises from defilements, whereas the ending of dukkha is the most important aim. When a yogi attains the light element correctly, he discerns the whole body as a mass of disintegration, continuous rising and falling. This is described as discerning many instances of impermanence. With repeated discernment, it does not take long before the experience becomes wearisome. Do not stand up or abandon the contemplation. Yogis must continue contemplating until the burdened load of the aggregate skandha falls away. This is an important point that Mogok Sayadaw often emphasized when warning his students. With the arising of weariness and disenchantment, nibbida, the path knowledge, magga-gnana, arises. Progression of insight. Before practice, only dukkha and samudaya are present. With discernment of impermanence, anicca, dukkha and magga become evident. With the seeing of cessation, nirodha and magga-gnana arise. The difference between magga and magga-gnana lies in their associated factors. Magga refers to the 5 path factors, samadhi and panna. Magga-gnana refers to the noble eightfold path, sila, samadhi and panna. On nibbana and the aggregates. Nibbana, the unborn, does not exist together with the aggregates, the born, nor does it exist separately from them. It exists only in dependence upon the correct cessation of the aggregates, process. Therefore, it is difficult to know the unborn.